Hi everybody, welcome back to Tips for You. Today we're going to make another friendship bracelet. This is a pattern that you see. It's very pretty. It's called the Chevron. We're going to show you how to make it with not just 2 colors but 3 colors, which should be really fun and give it a little bit more of a pattern. And that way you can get the idea when you want to add more colors what to do. And all you're going to need is embroidery floss, which you can pick up at any craft store. Sometimes the Walmarts carry them. Sometimes it depends on the size of your Walmart near you, if they have a good craft department. And Michael's has them, Joann's, places like that. Okay, so let's get started, and I'll show you how to set up and make the bracelet. So here's my daughter. She'll set you up and tell you exactly what you need and what to do.
Hi everyone, I really appreciate all the positive feedback that you guys have been giving about these videos. And as promised, here is the Chevron pattern. This is one of my favorites. It comes out really cool. This is the sample of one of the bracelets. You get this thickness by using 2 colors, 2 strands of each color. So in total you're going to use 4 strands, and that's how you get this thickness. But for our video, what we're going to do is we're going to use 3 colors, 2 strands of each. So in total we have, in total we have 12, because we're going to fold it in half. What you're going to do is you're going to cut your string to about 72 inches. And I say this just because it'll give you enough string to make sure that it's long enough for your bracelet, because you certainly don't want to run out of string after you go through all the work to make your bracelet. So when you fold it in half, it should be approximately 3 feet or 36 inches. So here we have our string, and what I did was, in order to get a certain amount of thickness, I used 2 colors of each string. When folded in half, we now have 4 colors of each string. So our first step is we're going to make the knot at the top. So in order to make the knot, we are going to take our pointer finger, wrap the string around our pointer finger, wrap this end around the string here and through the loop. And we have our knot. Just need any basic little knot at the top so that it doesn't unravel. So our next step is to anchor it. It will help us a lot in maneuvering the string. So I fanned my strings out on the table, and because this is the Chevron pattern and it's ultimately going to make a V, you fan them out in a specific way. Whatever color you want to be first in your pattern, you're going to put on the 2 outside sides. So you're going to put on the farthest left and the farthest right. The next color in your pattern you're going to put on the inside of both those strings. And the next color in your pattern is going to be on the inside of the other strings. So it's basically going to look like a pattern from, kind of left and right. So white, blue, lighter blue. So our next step is to begin making the bracelet. So just like in the candy stripe, we're going to take our leftmost string, make the 4 around this next string here to the right, and pull tight. And if you have any problems with this step, watch the candy stripe bracelet video, because that'll clearly explain how to make these 4s. So you're going to do that twice for each string. And then we're done with this string for now, so we put it off to the side. Our next step is to make the 2 knots on the next string.
So you're still using that first white string?
Correct, yes.
And then you make 2 knots each string going over.
2 knots on the next string going over. But, and this is a very big but, we are going to stop halfway. So our halfway mark is right after these 2 strings. And here's the last 2. So, okay. Oops. Tape came undone. Let me just tape that down real quick. Okay. Now I clearly want to explain why I stopped halfway here. And that's because this is a V. So as you guys can see in this example here, we have string coming down from the left and string coming down from the right side, and it's meeting in the middle and it's making a V. That's what we're doing here. So with this white string that we just used to go all the way across, it's only going to stop in the middle. And we have this other white string that's going to meet it in the middle, and we're going to tie it in the middle, and that's how it makes the V. So we stopped at our halfway mark that's right in the middle of the pattern. So basically we had the 6 strings on this side, 6 strings on that side. So it's exactly symmetrical. You stop in the middle. So I've stopped in the middle for this, and now my next step is to meet it in the middle with my other string. So you take your rightmost string, and this is a little bit trickier because you're kind of going in reverse. So instead of making a 4, you're going to make what looks like a P, what will look like a P to you. So if you're looking at it, it's not going to be like this. That's what you did before. That's what you do if you're going from left to right, but you're going from right to left. So you are going to make a P. You're going to wrap the string around this one and through the loop. You're going to pull up tight. You're going to do that 2 times for this string, and now you're going to move to the string that's next on your left. So you're kind of going in the reverse direction here. And 2 strings there. So you're going to go to the next one that's on your left. And we do the P. So once those are done, you can just put them to the side. Next one on your left, make like a P, what'll look like a P to you instead of the 4. And pull tight. And you stop where your next string, so we've done all these strings so far. You're going to stop when you see that the 2 white strings are going to meet in the middle. So the 2 white strings have gone from left to right, they're now meeting in the middle, and you're going to tie these together. So my suggestion for this is that with one string, say we'll take this one, you make a P. Pull tight. With the other string, you make the 4. So you make a P, you make a 4, you pull tight, that makes your 2 knots, and we've now created our first V. And that's what it looks like so far. So it's kind of small, it's hard to see. Once we start using more of the colors of string, you'll be able to see the pattern a little bit better, but that's how you go about it. And basically you're just going to keep going with your 2 outermost strings, and you're going to keep going in the middle with both of them. So my next color is white again, and with the 2 outermost strings I start left here and on the right, meet them in the middle, tie them in the middle, and that's pretty much what you do for the whole entire bracelet.
Okay, she's done a few extra rows so that you can see the pattern developing. You'll see the changing color from white to bright blue to light blue and then back to white. And we're going to take a little bit of a different perspective now to do the next row, just to reinforce how you do the weaving and just to give you a perspective as though you were facing the bracelet and doing it yourselves for this final reinforcement of it.
So we have our patterns, and we have our string, which is in that same symmetrical pattern as before, except now the blue's on the outside. So just with this different perspective, we're going to go through how to make the V again. So we start with our leftmost string, and we're going to go all the way until the middle. And if it helps, you can kind of push these strings off to the side a little bit, make a gap in the middle so you know where it is, and we're going to go right until this white string. So we make our leftmost string. We make what will look like a 4, just like that. Wrap it under the string and through the loop. Pull tight. I'm going to make 2 knots for each string throughout the whole bracelet. Wrap the 4 around and through the loop, pull tight. So we now have 2 knots on this string. We can kind of push that off to the side a little bit. Then we go to our next string on the right. Make the 2 knots. Next string on the right, and we make the 2 knots. We've now gone into the middle. We're just going to leave this string here for now because our rightmost string is going to meet this one in the middle. Take our rightmost string, which is this blue one, and we're going in reverse, so we're going to make the P. It's going to be a P. So we're going to take our rightmost string, we're going to cross it like this, rightmost string, cross it over the left string to the left, makes kind of like a P, and then we're going to take the tail, wrap around that left string through the loop, pull tight. So, yeah. And we're going to make the P, wrap it around, pull tight. So basically, if you get the 4 down, you'll get the P down no problem, just because it's reversed. So instead of taking this string and making a 4, you're taking the string on the right, you're making basically a backwards 4. So you're just kind of working from reverse. Okay. Once our next string is blue. So this meets in the middle. And with this, we're going to knot these two together, and that's going to make the point of our V, where these 2 strings meet in the middle. You knot them by making a P and by making a 4. And now we've made the point of our V. And as you can see, our pattern is going to keep repeating. We made a V, and then you just pretty much keep doing that and making this pattern by meeting these 2 strings in the middle for as long as you want your bracelet. And yeah, it comes out great. It's one of my favorite patterns, and I really like it.
Now, because this bracelet takes about a couple hours to complete, we are going to leave you with this and come back, show you a few extra rows, and hopefully you will complete it and have a beautiful bracelet when you're done. So if you'd like to see how to end a bracelet to tie it onto your wrist, please go to any of my other friendship bracelets by just going to my channel and clicking on playlist right below my banner. Right next to the uploads tab, there's a playlist tab, and you can view easily any one of my friendship bracelets that you want. So be back soon with a few more rows to show you how it looks. And there you have a couple more rows that we added. And you can see the beautiful pattern developing and the colors and how they form, and you can see clearly that we have 2 rows of each color in order to get that thickness. Of course, if you want it thicker, just add another string of that color. If there's any friendship bracelet that you would like to see, we welcome your requests. Just send them to me in the messages area, and we will put them on our list. So thanks so much for viewing. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you will give the Chevron friendship bracelet a try. And please do subscribe, because I have a lot more to come, including more friendship bracelets. And please visit me at my blog spot where I do a lot of writing and lots of helpful tips for you. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye now.